Hey there. This, I suppose, will be the introduction video to my YouTube channel. I am about to embark on something I've wanted to do for quite some time. I am a rusty pilot, very rusty. I got my pilot's license over 20 years ago in northern Jersey. I'm now living on Long Island, back on Long Island where I'm from. I'm here for quite some time. But I did fly out of Caldwell, that's Charlie Delta Whiskey, in northern Jersey, and I got my pilot's license at or my pilot certificate, excuse me, at a flight school called McDan Aviation in Caldwell, at the field there in Essex County. And I don't believe that flight school is in existence anymore. It will be 17 years this June. It is March of 2018. This June will be 17 years since I've touched the controls of a Cessna 172. So I, like many pilots, and I've been reading about this, and there's approximately 500,000 rusty pilots out there who have, life gets in the way and they stop flying and they let their currency lapse. But as we all know, once a pilot, always a pilot. And so hopefully some of these videos you're about to see are going to inspire you if you're interested in getting back to flying, or if you just like aviation and you want to see what it's like to witness somebody who hasn't flown in this long a period of time try to get back at it. And I'm nervous, I'm excited. I scheduled my first lesson, so I am ready to do this. And I probably would have done it last year, but I had a bad shoulder injury. I dislocated my shoulder a little over a year ago, and that was skiing. So that put things on hold, and the shoulder's doing well now. So thanks for tuning in. I will be adding bits and pieces besides the flying itself. I will make comments on the videos here and there, just talking about my feelings, what it's like to get back up there. And hopefully you'll get something from it. And then I will once I'm current, I will hopefully keep documenting various aviation videos for you that are based here on Long Island. And hopefully you'll get something from this. Thanks. Yeah, something I also want to add is that you know, my videos, I suppose, will be, my plan is that the cockpit videos will initially be pretty raw. I'm not going to cut them much, so if I have a long taxiway to the runway, or a long taxi to the runway, I'm going to keep that. The main reason is because I would like to document, like, my expressions for you, to show you, you know, like, just how my comfort level changes, hopefully. And, you know, that's what I'm anticipating, at least. If it's going to be a little interesting at first, and then hopefully you'll start to see me get more comfortable in the cockpit, and I'll start to see myself get more comfortable. Then, as I get better at video editing, hopefully my videos will get better, and, you know, I'll be able to cut things up a little bit better for you. And my channel will hopefully evolve into some more general sharing of my aviation experiences here on Long Island. Okay, so thanks again. Here I am pulling up to the flight school for my first flight, and coming up on almost 17 years. I gotta say, this is exciting, and it's been in the works for a while now for me, and finally getting to the point where I'm making this happen.
So I think the best way to do it is open up the window.
Okay.
And then if you just pull the door, then you can push that forward.
Okay.
It just gives you some better leverage than trying to pull from the front, close to the hinge.
Right.
Alright, so whenever you're comfortable, you can take a look at the checklist there.
You're taller than me, but I'm just trying. Okay. Okay.
So the pre-flight cockpit check is complete and the pre-flight external is complete. So now to the before engine start check.
Before engine start, pre-flight inspection, Briefing complete. Seatbelts on. Fuel selector valves both. Fuel cut off, shut off.
That's down here.
Oh,
Just making sure that's pushed all the way in.
So talk to me about this a second.
So if we want to shut the fuel off for the entire system, we just pull that.
Oh, really?
And then no more fuel.
What would be different than just going to full?
So this will actually cut the entire fuel system.
Okay.
This will basically, the fuel air ratio is cut
going
to
into
straight
the
air.
Carburetor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a fuel injected engine.
All right.
So there's no carburetor.
Yeah, I flew
which is nice.
a lot of mine. I flew with the carb heat. Mixture idle cutoff. Throttle open. Quarter. Circuit breakers check in. This is set here and here.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay. Avionics electrical amp off. Avionics, right?
Yes, sir.
Beacon on. It's this one here.
Correct.
Parking brake set. So I could now undo it, or?
Well, you can just leave it set for start.
Okay. Engines master switch on. Auxiliary fuel pump on.
Right. So you're going to put one hand on the mixture and one hand on the fuel pump switch.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to keep our eyes over here on the fuel flow, which is gallons per hour right there. So what you're going to do is turn the fuel pump on.
Yep.
First, then push the mixture forward until the fuel pump, until the fuel flow peaks, and then you're going to pull the mixture out and turn the fuel pump off.
Okay, so go in.
Yep. All the way in.
All the way in.
And there we go. You pull it back out and turn the fuel pump off. And that's just basically priming the engine. Like
okay.
an old carburetor aircraft, you actually prime it.
Yep, that's different than I remember. Okay. All right, where am I?
So that's what we did. Fuel pump, mixture forward, fuel pump off.
Mixture idle cutoff, throttle open a quarter, prop clear.
All right, clear. So to start this aircraft, go ahead and put the keys in first. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to crank the keys, and the second the engine catches, you're going to push the mixture all the way forward.
Okay.
And then then you release the keys, and we're going to make sure that the RPM is at about 1,000.
Okay.
And oil pressure is good.
So just again, that's a little different than I remember.
So just go ahead and crank it, and once it starts, we'll push the mixture forward.
Okay.
All right.
I hear you.
All right. Got you loud and clear.
All right.
All right. So now we'll go ahead and get the ATIS.
Okay.
So I have the airport diagram here, which has all the frequencies. So ATIS is 126.65.
Okay.
So for the comms here, we have 2 Garmin 430s. You switch from COM 1 to COM 2 up here. If you press the mic button, that'll be speaking on COM 1 and speaking on COM 2. If you press the top, you can just listen.
Okay.
So we're just going to wait for the GPS to load up. It's saying the obstacle database is expired, so we can't use it for well, we can without the obstacle. As long as the nav database is current, we're good to go. For VFR, it's not necessary, it's just good for situational awareness. And we just press enter to the next screens. And then you'll see here, so this top box here is COM 1, all this, and it's COM 2.
Public ground.
So if we want to listen, so the top one is the one that's active, the top frequency. So if we want to switch to ground, you just push that arrow there.
Okay.
November 723 Golf Alpha Republic ground runway 32.
So all up here, this is COM 1.
Right, so we're just working on COM 2.
Yeah, so we'll work for COM 2 down here on the ground.
03. This is approaching east landing upon runway 32. No stairman, all runway field conditions.
Take it down.
All taxiway field conditions 6 with snow banks. All taxiway edge lights obscured. All runway end lights obscured. IFR departure advice ground G tackle runway assignment, tree tackle, altitude assignments. Drives Republic Tower, initial contact, give information Victor.
Alright, we have information Victor.
Republic information Victor, time 1353 Zulu, 360 at 7, visibility 10, ceiling 7000 overcast, temperature 3, dew point -6, altimeter 3003. Visual approaching east, landing at runway 32. Nose to airman, all runway field conditions.
Alright, so what I typically like to do,
Field conditions 6 with
I'm just going to switch over to ground again, so it's not as distracting. So we're taking off runway 32, we have information Victor. The winds, I like to put that in here with the heading bug, so you can go ahead and put that into 360. That way we know where the wind is coming from and we can make the proper wind corrections. And the altimeter is 3003.
Cherokee,
Yeah, that looks good.
Way to an outbound Cougar.
And we're just verifying that it's about field elevation. So that shows about 90, field elevation here is 80, so that's very good. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is call ground and get our taxi instructions over to runway 32. This little green mark is where we are, Nassau Flyers. So to get to 32, they're just going to say 32 via Golf Delta. So if you want to give them a radio call, that's up to you, or I can take the comms.
We're going to ask for a northbound departure? Or?
Yep, we'll go northeast departure. So the whole thing, I actually have a little script here. Rev up ground, Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha at Nassau Flyers, ready to taxi with information Victor, requesting northeast departure.
Republic ground, Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha at Nassau Flyers, ready to taxi with information Victor, requesting northeast departure.
Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha, Republic ground, runway 32, taxi via Gulf Delta, northeastern request.
32 via Golf Delta.
32 via Golf Delta, 0 Juliet Alpha.
Very good. Alright, so we'll go ahead and make a left out of here. So just remember the parking brake as well. And we'll turn the taxi light on. And the top of the pedal is the brakes.
Right, sorry.
All good. No worries. So you're just going to go full left pedal. Then you can tap the left brake as well to help us get a little bit of a sharper turn.
Footwork would be probably one of the harder parts.
It'll come back. It's like flying a bike.
So now, this way?
Yep, so we're just going to continue straight ahead, past that little tower, past Shelter there. So, Golf is sort of a strange, Golf doesn't start till down here, but so we basically just taxi on their ramp, because they want to keep us off runway 19, of course.
Public ground 2 Delta Charlie, looking to taxi to Echo ramp.
Cherokee 152 Delta Charlie, Republic ground, takes at Echo via Alpha, cross
No, you're not supposed to ride the brakes, so I'm trying to kind of find that sweet spot of...
So it's best to just reduce the power and then brakes
below
as
1,000
necessary.
is okay?
Yep, so below 1,000 is fine. When we're just sitting stationary with the aircraft stopped, we like to keep it at about 1,000.
So, what was the instruction you gave me again? I know I read it back, but...
32 via Golf Delta.
Cherokee 2 to Charlie.
So we're just going to keep going straight, just to the right of that jet up there.
Okay.
And it's best to keep it slow around here, because there are a lot of private charter jets and stuff, and those passengers don't really pay attention.
Bravo left on Alpha.
I've had a dog run out in front of me, I've had people walk out in front of me. So just like any other time when you're taxiing, always keep your eyes outside. And if you need to look at a chart or something, it's best to just stop the aircraft, do what you need to do.
Holding short Golf 3.
Katana 763 Delta Charlie, you going to Echo?
Affirmative.
Katana 3 Delta Charlie, taxi to Echo via Alpha, cross runway 1.
Alright, so we're just going to continue straight ahead here, and we're going to make a right, and then a left on Golf.
Ground Baron 1648 Whiskey's Atlanta.
A lot of Gulf streams here today.
Baron 1648 Whiskey, Republic ground, runway 32, taxi via cross runway 1 at the approach end, Golf Alpha, wind 340 at 10, altimeter 3002.
Rose 1 at the end, Golf Alpha 3248 Whiskey.
Cougar 3 Golf Alpha, continue taxi.
Continue taxi 3 Golf Alpha.
Oh, so we're going to make this left. It's also going to be mindful when there's snow, you always want to make sure you are clearing the snowbanks. With a high wing, it's not as much of an issue. And also sometimes signs are obstructed. They do their best, and we didn't get too much snow, but sometimes the signs are obstructed. One thing I like to tell my students is, so you see how the Golf is in a black square?
Yes.
So black square, you're there, which means we're on Golf. And after the sign, we'll make the left on Delta. And we'll continue all the way over to the run-up area for 3-2. Clear right, clear left.
On a busy day, you could have a decent amount of aircraft waiting over here, right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice because Nassau Flyers is on this side of the field. Most of the other schools are on the other side of the field, so they're waiting on the other side of the runway and they'll have a big line. But typically we get pretty lucky. And over time, the controllers will notice your voice and they'll kind of let you go before others, which is pretty nice.
Ground Challenger.
Yeah, I mean, taxi looks good. Everything is right on the center line.
Taxi to Hangar 5.
Challenger 350 Papa Delta Republic ground taxi to Hangar 5 via back taxi runway 1 to the end.
1 to the end.
And while we're taxiing, it's always important to just make sure that the compass is turning freely. There's no leaks, bubbles, or cracks in that. And also the heading indicator will be turning.
Farmingdale 5
Once we get up to do the run-up, we'll go ahead and line those up.
Direct Hartford. Direct Dream 1 arrival, direct destination. Climb maintain 3000, expect 13,000.
Feels like it's not taking much power to move over here. Maybe it's
Well, it's also because we have the wind right at our back,
Oh, yeah.
so that'll help push us as well.
Sure. For stiffer winds, it's dive away, right? Away from the
Right,
wind.
so you turn into the wind or dive away from the wind.
Coming a rear quartering from the right, we'd be like that.
Right, exactly.
And citation officially straight, it'll be
And it's good to get in a habit to do it no matter what the winds are.
For departure. The rest of your back was correct.
Then it'll just become second nature. You don't even think about it when you're doing it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure we keep our eye on that Cirrus. If they don't plan on moving, we'll just continue straight ahead and we'll come around them and sort of face toward them into the wind and do our run up.
Hey, Republic Ground, good afternoon. Cessna 16237 is at Nassau Flyers with information. Victor, ready to taxi, would like a northeast departure.
Cessna 16237, Republic Ground runway 32, taxi via Gulf Delta's northeast on request.
Okay, runway 32 via Gulf Delta, Cessna 16237.
So we're just going to continue
past
past
them.
the Cirrus.
Okay.
Actually, we do have room. We can just turn around here.
So turn and...
Yep, so let's just go straight for now. We'll turn around to the left
Turn around to
and
the
sort of face
Okay.
into the wind. Alright, it'll help to tap that left brake a little bit. Alright, then straighten out the nose wheel. And we can stop here. Typically we want the entire aircraft to be on this side of that dotted line, but today it's tough because there's snowbanks there. We don't want to get close to the snowbanks.
Okay. But wing and including the wing?
Exactly,
Okay.
so the entire aircraft.
Okay.
Alright, so here we are at the run-up area. We just verify that we've done all this. So avionics, we've set, we've got the ATIS, instruments are set, so let's go ahead and set that with the compass, the magnetic compass here. Yeah, you just push it in a little harder, and then you can go ahead and rotate it. So it's about 310. And you got to recall that this is backwards from what it is down here.
Right.
If you notice, west is on the right here, and west is on the left down there.
Right.
So that's just one thing to be mindful of.
We're above 30.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. And flaps are set. Parking brake, you can go ahead and put that back on. And it's the before, you can put this in there as well, before takeoff checklist.
Parking brake set, flight controls free and correct.
Yep.
So we'll go with the up the aileron. Good. Second and rudder's a little challenging, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And you also just want to make sure you don't do it too much because it's also moving the nose wheel.
Right.
And when the nose wheel's stationary, you don't want to put too much stress on the tire. Alright, so fuel selector both. It's always good to just, if you just keep one hand on it, then you know exactly where you are.
Both mixture. Throttle to 1800.
Yeah, just make sure we hold those brakes because the parking brake won't do everything for us.
Magnetos, so we go two clicks.
2 clicks to the left. Dropped about 80, I'd say. Then back to both.
Both.
And let it stabilize again. 1800, then one to the left. And dropped about 50, 60, so that's good. Back to the both.
Okay. Vacuum.
Vacuum pressure is in the green, right on 5.
Oil temp. Starting to come up.
Yep, starting to come up. It's in the green already, so that's good.
Where does it typically sit?
It all depends. It takes a while to heat up, so it's good that it's already heated up, but on a cold day when it's like 25 degrees, we have to sit here for a while and just wait.
Okay. Engine instruments, ammeter.
Alright, so what you can do is we're going to look at the amps here, and you can turn off the alternator, which is just the left red switch.
Yep.
So go ahead and turn that off, and you'll notice that it's moving there. You can also move the flaps and see that it's jiggling there. And the enunciators, if you're up to that, yep, so that's next. So that's just here, you just push it up to test it, and we're verifying that all the enunciators come on, and when we let go, they all come off.
Okay, that's the unknown.
Right.
Throttle to idle or 1,000? Go below 1,000?
You so all the way to idle first.
Oh, idle, and then...
Yep, and just let it sit there for a second. So that's good, and then back to 1,000.
Belts on.
Your belt's on.
Flaps set. No flaps. Trim for takeoff. Windows locked.
Yep, so just making sure the handle's down. And you give it a little push. You can also just look at the back of the door. And if there's like a big space, you know the door's not shut all the way. But everything looks good for now.
Right, lights is required. We got the pin.
Yep, so what we can do is we can turn on all the lights except for the taxi light for takeoff.
Taxi is third from the left.
Yeah, so you can turn on the landing light, strobe, and nav. There you go.
Okay.
All right, and I just want to do a quick takeoff brief. So we have the before takeoff checklist complete. So for the takeoff, basically what we're going to do is we're going to roll onto the center line of the runway, straighten out the nose wheel. And once we do that, we can take our feet off the brakes. So heels on the floor. And we'll once we're clear for takeoff, we'll smoothly advance power to full. That'll take about 3 seconds, like 1, 2, 3. We don't want to just jam it in. And we're gonna need some right rudder to oppose those left turning tendencies and stay on the center line. And at 55 knots, we'll go ahead and rotate. So just slowly pull back, and we'll climb out at VY, which is 74 knots. All right.
All right. But from this point now, we'll go up to the hold short line. And
That's
then
correct.
We'll give them the call. Okay.
So you turn the park brake off. All right, your controls.
My controls.
Your controls.
You're on the left.
And if we lose power on the roll, we'll retard the throttle and hit the brakes. If we're in the air, we'll land straight ahead up to 700 feet. Then we'll turn around. Alright, so we can switch over to tower by pushing the COM 1 mic button there. I'll just make sure we're not monitoring that.
666 traffic at your left, correction, 1 o'clock now, 1 mile northeastbound, 2,500 feet.
Alright, so you can go ahead and give tower a call. The call is just going to be Republic Tower, Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha holding short, 32 at Delta.
Sir, San Fox Tango, stand down, I'll call your base, facing for departure. Look out the 45 X-ray landing, ensure you can taxi with me to the ramp.
I'd like to do a couple of touch and goes if that's alright after landing.
Now I'm waiting because that pilot was waiting for a response, right?
He is waiting for a response, but it doesn't sound like he's getting one.
Numbers of 19 clear to land, numbers of 19 clear to land. The wind 330 at 9.
Clear to land, numbers of 19 7045 X-ray.
Alright, you're good.
Republic Tower, Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha at 32 Delta for a northeast departure.
Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha, Republic Tower, hold short of runway 32, traffic landing.
Holding short of 320 Juliet Alpha.
There's just one thing to be mindful of in this aircraft. There are other 0 Juliet Alphas in this field, so it's best to say the full call number, full call sign, because there's an 820 Juliet Alpha as well.
Okay.
But the typical rule of thumb is if they say 0 Juliet Alpha, you can say 0 Juliet Alpha.
Okay. Tango, turn base, traffic in position.
Did he say 0 Juliet Alpha? I'm just trying to.
Cessna 0 Juliet Alpha, runway 32, line up away, traffic, 2 mile left base, sir.
Line up and wait, 130 Juliet Alpha.
Alright, so we have a Cirrus on a 2 mile final.
Northport stacks with whiskey. Roger, 522 Juliet Whiskey, Republic Tower, right down with runway 32.
Right down with 32, 522 Juliet Whiskey.
Cherokee 813, following traffic at Cherokee, just north of the LIE at your 2 o'clock, 3 miles, 2,000 feet.
Roger, we're looking for the traffic for the 813.
Cessna 0 Juliet Alpha, northeast approved, runway 32, clear for takeoff, 1350 at 9er.
Clear for takeoff, 130 Juliet Alpha.
Alright, so smoothly advanced, full power, heels on the floor,
12 miles to the north to land with
and right rudder.
Cherokee 69135 Star Republic Tower, right now on runway 32.
Airspeed's coming alive.
732.
Engine instruments are in the green.
Republic Tower, Farmingdale 877, are we making left traffic or right traffic?
877, left traffic.
Left traffic, thank you very much.
Very responsive today.
Yeah. Nice crisp day.
Follow him, the traffic slightly above you, correct? 1,800 feet. Roger. 7 Foxtrot Tango, runway 32, clear touch and go, left traffic.
Clear touch and go, left traffic, 117 Fox Tango.
Military helicopter 7045 X-ray on the numbers of 19er. Let's take off for right traffic for numbers of 19er, 7045 X-ray.
Look out there, 7045 X-ray, remain north and east of runway 32 at all times. At below 600 feet, numbers of 19er, clear for takeoff, wind 35011.
Alright, looking good.
Northeast 32
Just trending a little fast on me. You know,
What was that?
It was just trending a little on the, but now we're getting at a, like how long do you like to hold 76?
We could start pitching for about 90 now if you like.
Cool.
Farmingdale State 77.
We're just gonna keep it coming up to 2,000. We can go ahead and turn towards the Northport stacks once you have those in sight.
Okay, I do.
Alright, clear to the right.
Cessna 16237, Republic Tower, hold short of runway 32, traffic landing.
Hold short 32, Cessna 237.
Well, you still got it.
I'll call your base.
Looking good.
All that little stuff that gets me. It's, well, we're just pre-flighting. It's all foreign.
Yeah.
Gotta learn to relax back in the seat. I'm like, you know, just Been a while. Tense. Good though.
Alright, now that we're in the air, we can do the climb checklist, which is essentially keep the power full, flaps are up, and landing light off.
Clear for takeoff, runway 32, northeast approved.
Landing is my...
The second one, it's next to the beacon. There you go.
Turning base, clear touching go.
And a good cruise setting in this, cruise RPM is about 22 to 2300.
Okay.
I have it on request.
So we're approaching 2000, so we can go ahead and reduce that throttle.
Take off your right wing on the left base, turn 1,200 feet, company Cherokee.
Roger that, State 66, looking for the traffic.
Public Air Helicopter 7045 X-ray downwind for numbers of
Smooth day.
Yeah.
Helicopter 45X remain north and east of runway 32 at all times. Numbers of 19er, clear to land. The wind 330 at 9er.
Clear to land on 19er, remain north and east, northeast.
Alright, so let's just make a small adjustments and bring it back down to about 2000.
Up down to 2,000
Yep,
feet.
back down to 2,000 feet.
I'm sorry, I thought you wanted me at 22.
1,300, 2,200 feet north of the mall.
125.
2200 was the RPM. Sorry about that.
No, sorry.
I could have been more clear.
At least I heard something. It's not going crazy.
Following command, State 66, clear touch and go, runway 32, left traffic.
So for like a gentle descent, if we want to just lose 200 feet, just like bottom
just
of the green arc maybe?
Yeah,
here.
bottom of the green arc. Typically for a descent, I mean, this is only a 200-foot descent, so that's good.
Reaching.
A good descent RPM is about 1900. But for just a 200 feet correction, it's not.
Okay. 2 points here.
Alright, so we're tracking right to the northport stacks. We're at 2,000 feet. All looks good.
417 Fox Tango up the left.
Very nice.
Runway 32.
Now once we leave Farmingdale's airspace, which we can see here, so you can zoom in and out here.
Yep.
The up arrow is like lifting the aircraft higher. So we have
800 feet, Cherokee. Cherokee 13, roger. Follow traffic, get number 2 now.
Alright, so we're leaving their airspace. I'll go ahead and contact New York approach. See what mood they're in today.
Number 9 Alpha Tango, turn right heading 330. 330, Alpha Tango.
New York approach, Skyhawk 5312 Sierra, with you at 3,500 feet.
5312 Sierra, New York.
12 Sierra is at 3,500 feet inbound to Bridgeport, VO.
Looking good.
Looks like you squawked 1200 on me, sir. I switched you to, are you landing Bridgeport?
Negative, that was a mistake on the box. We'll go back to 4214.
Port Tower, good day.
I noticed my altitude creeping, so I'm just letting you know I'm aware.
We also have a little bit high power setting, about 22, 23 is typically good.
5312 Sierra, squawk VFR now. Radar services terminated. Contact Bridgeport Tower. Take care.
Squawking 1200, 12 Sierra.
We're just going to continue out past the stacks, and then we'll turn right.
Okay.
For the Claudia. Northport Stacks, Hazard 23, contact New York, 125.7, good day. 125.7,
New York approach, Cessna 130, Juliet Alpha.
709 Alpha Tango, 5 from Yost, turn right, 030, maintain 2000. So established on the localizer, you cleared the ILS runway 6, circle to land, runway 33 left.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we'll start with steep turns out there.
Okay.
So you see where the land kind of points out over there?
Yep.
So we'll start heading towards that way, that's where the north practice area is.
Okay.
Heading 030, maintain, and replay ILS 6, cleared land, runway 3, cleared land, 311. If you're not turning and talking at the same time, you're going to go across. Amend the heading now. 040, join the localizer, still clear for the approach.
040 will join the approach for 33 now,
95 Foster's heading 150.
It is a little busy today.
Coming to you. Encore shoot discretion, 90.
Alright, so if you remember, well, we'll just do some 30-degree turns first to get back in the feel of things, and then we'll try and hop into some steep turns. As you remember, it's 10, 20, 30 degrees, and then that line there is 40 degrees of bank.
Right.
I'm sorry, 60 degrees of bank, and then in between the two is 45.
New York approach.
And what's the steep turn? 45?
Yep, so right in between 30 and 60, that'll be a steep turn.
339 Alpha Tango, contact the Long Island Tower, 119.3.
Hey, I'm holding altitude at least.
Yeah, it's looking very good. New York approach, Cessna 130, Juliet Alpha. Doesn't feel like the heat's really working.
Tango, contact Long Island Tower, 119.3. Auto C 00, turn right 030 and track the localizer. 030 and track the localizer from Auto C 00, contact the Long Island Tower, 119.3. Tower 193 from Auto C 00.
We're not really getting a response today.
35.
So, you were going to request, like, just traffic, like,
yeah, just traffic advisories, just because I see there's a bunch of traffic out to the...
Okay.
In the north practice area. But we can go ahead and turn out there. All the traffic is above us.
I'm going to make my turn now?
Yep, we'll go ahead and start our turn. Just go right out towards that tip there.
You're right.
You're right.
So a 30-degree bank is totally acceptable over here, right?
Yes. We typically never really go up past 30 unless we're doing steep turns. It's especially important in the pattern to stay below 30 degrees of bank just because we're slow, and you know, increase of bank angle will increase our stall speed, and when we're already slow we want to make sure to avoid that. New York approach, Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha. So far.
130 Juliet Alpha, New York, go ahead.
130 Juliet Alpha, 2,000 feet, Northport stacks, requesting traffic advisories, north practice area.
130 Juliet Alpha, squawk 4354, radar contact.
4354, 130 Juliet Alpha.
412 for descent of 2,000.
Alright, 412 Alpha.
130 Juliet Alpha, altimeter 2998.
2998, 0 Juliet Alpha.
So he just gave us altimeter?
Yep, 2998. That way everybody that's talking to New York approach is on the same page.
Got it.
Alright, so let's climb up to 3,000 feet.
New York 144 JK is going up to 2.5 now on a 180 heading.
Up to 3,000?
Yeah, that's right.
Approach 92 Hotel Foxtrot, requesting touch and go at isolate for runway 33 right with information Oscar.
92 Hotel Foxtrot, proceed right to the airport, altimeter 2998.
92 Hotel Foxtrot, proceed to the airport.
So we have traffic on here as well, which is nice.
Oh wow.
So we have traffic below us, 600 feet. Below us, 700 feet. And you can see, that's how big, wide the screen is 5 nautical miles.
Okay.
So once we get close to traffic, then it'll kind of give us a better scope if necessary.
Okay.
Maintain 2,000, 41 Whiskey Mike. 798 Lima Alpha, changing my frequency.
That's from the ATIS, service? Or?
I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check on that. I'm not sure if this aircraft has ATS-B.
8 Lima Alpha, you copy?
That's going to become a standard, right? Or
2020.
2020? Wow.
8 Lima Alpha, change to 12597.
Oh, 3,000. Got there pretty quickly.
That's right. Nice cool day.
So level off, and then...
Yeah, with Oscar, back to ISA for...
Speed build, and then pull back.
Fly heading 190, 105 Hotel Fox.
Very good.
That was 190? Yep. Alright, 19.
Alright, so we'll just do some 360s. We'll go to the left first, just 30 degrees of bank, and then to the right.
Okay. So, clear. Do we have to do it like the full clearing before this, maneuver?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to do a left and a right turn. I was going to treat these as clearing turns.
Okay.
So we can do a left 360 clearing turn and a right 360 clearing turn.
Okay.
And then we'll do the steep turns after that.
So I'm going to just lift my left wing, start my left bank.
And just remember that left rudder.
Right.
There's a tad less left rudder just to keep that ball right in the middle.
Thank you very much.
So the rudder is more so when you're entering or leaving a turn.
Got it.
4 and 12 you're a mile from the 2000 still established on the
So how does it feel to be back up here?
It's cool.
Good.
Yeah. Gotta tell you, when we were pre-flight, it just felt so weird that I was like trying to picture it, but you know, just gotta do it.
We're back.
We're back. Yeah, it feels good. Some of it feels like as it's like my first lesson, and some of it feels like having done this already, I have an edge up.
Did you say you wanted touch and goes or full?
I mean, everything's looking perfect so far.
Great. I didn't quite take note of my exact heading. I'm just coming back to a visual.
Yeah, we'll just visual that point there is fine, and then we'll go to the right.
Okay.
We're clear right.
92 Hotel Foxtrot, 92 Hotel Fox, descend 2000, contact is R933.
And just because we have traffic on here doesn't mean we can rely on this, because there are aircraft that won't show up on here.
Right.
So anytime you're in VFR park condition, it's very important. Always keep your eyes outside looking for traffic, especially in busy New York airspace.
Trying to get the sensation down, because my sensation was that we were descending, but I'm looking like I'm climbing a little bit.
Alright.
But I guess it's just getting used to that. So the rudder comes into play in the beginning of the turn more so.
Right, so
you needed more at that point.
That's when you're going to get that adverse yaw because of the drag from the ailerons. So when that's changing, so when you're changing the ailerons, you're going to need the rudders more than when it's just sitting there in a constant turn.
Got it. I just read Stick and Rudder, that classic from 1944.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's really good.
I gotta give that a look.
Yeah, it's complimentary to Rod Machado's stuff. Like you read that and then you read his stuff. It's a little more current with diagrams, but it's amazing how things don't change.
Yeah.
Farmingdale State 00, you on?
Alright, so we're still sticking around the 3,000 mark here.
Very good. Alright, let's go ahead and do some steep turns. And you can turn towards a reference point if you want. We could use that boat out there.
Okay, let me line up with the boat first.
Sure. We'll see you on the Fox. And for steep turns, it's always important to make sure that our speed is under maneuvering speed. So we're just going to want to slow down a bit. So the maneuvering speed is here 105 knots.
Okay.
And so we'll trim it out. It'll make it a lot easier.
You mean trim for the slower speed or trim like within the turn?
So we're going to trim it out before we even begin the maneuver. Because
you get back to 3,000.
So if you keep it at about 2,200, that should be good. 2,200 RPM.
Okay.
And you'll notice if the nose starts coming down.
Yep.
Well, we're going to need to add some back pressure, but if it feels like you need to add too much, then you can just add a touch of power to help us keep our altitude.
Trim is pretty responsive. Okay, I guess I'll start my left steep turn now.
All right.
Clear left.
Clear left. All right, so we passed 30 degrees of bank. We're going to add some of that back pressure in.
Trying to do a combination of outside and inside of reference.
Right, that's the way to do it.
Whiskey Mike, radar service terminated, squawk VFR frequency change probe.
So the nose is a little bit low.
Talking VFR, CO4 on Whiskey Mike.
there's that boat. So we lost a little bit of altitude.
Yep.
So what we could do is add a touch of power, and pretty much right about the time you pass that 30 degrees of bank towards 45, that's when you start adding a little bit of back pressure.
Okay.
We'll cancel with you now, 412 Alpha.
So we'll get back up to 3,000, give it another shot.
Station received, squawk 1200, see ya.
1200, good day.
Farmingdale State 00, going back to Republic.
We can take a bunch out soon from our phases.
Okay, squawk 1200, frequency change for, see ya.
Back to 3, let's get stabilized. 2200.
Alright.
Alright, right turn. Right.
Clear right. Right here is looking really good. You just keep that horizon cutting through the cowling where it is, we should be able to maintain the altitude. Maybe a little bit more back pressure. There you go. Right at 45 degrees. Tad bit more back pressure. And as we roll out of that turn, we can release a little bit of that back pressure. Alright, let's go ahead and try one to the left.
Left, clear left.
Clear left. So right about now we want to add some back pressure in there. And that left rudder will help as well.
New York 144 JK is going to be at 2,500 feet along the outer beach at very slow speeds.
Roger.
And as the bank gets steeper, the tougher it is going to be to maintain altitude.
Yeah. A little better, I guess.
Yeah. So we still lost a little bit of altitude, and that's really just because we need to add some more back pressure. Alright, why don't you go ahead and turn us back towards the stack so we don't get too far.
Your left. Takes some getting used to putting a decent amount of pressure on the flight controls too. You know, you just got to get that. Feel a little timid.
Yeah, I mean you're doing extremely well for not flying for what was it? Did you say 17 years?
Almost. Just a few months from now, I'll be 17. Right before the dreaded 9/11. That's airspace kind of got shut down. That was my excuse, at least at the time.
Yeah. I was only in 5th grade when that happened.
Wow.
And it's nice to see the city out there, though.
Oh, nice and clear.
Yep, I'll be over there in about an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, very nice. Get us back up to 3,000 feet. And we'll go ahead and do some slow flight. And we'll head back to Farmingdale, try and see if we can get some landings in.
Okay.
So far, so good. Other than we lose a little bit of altitude on the steep turns. And just be a little bit more proactive with the rudder. So when you're going to turn, you know always you're going to have to use that rudder. So we'll just quickly talk through slow flight. Basically, we're going to pull it back to about 1,800 RPM, and we'll just add a notch of flaps. Keep adding flaps in there. That way, the target speed is going to be 60 knots, and we're going to maintain 3,000 feet.
Okay.
All right. So whenever you're ready.
Departure 102 Fox, show 1,000,
give or take. There's no exact numbers.
030.
Remember, when we slow down, we're going to have to maintain that back pressure in order to maintain altitude.
Right.
All right, that doesn't make any sense. 710 Foxtrot, your radar contact. What exactly are you doing?
Add a notch of flaps in there.
Left turn 300 up to 2,000, 710 Fox.
Okay,
Keep that back pressure in.
Can Continue left turn on course south practice area, altimeter 2997.
Add the rest of the flaps in.
Left turn on course south practice area.
Full flaps,
And remember, as we get slower, we're going to need to
49 Alpha,
add a little bit more pitch and add some power in there as well, because we won't be able to maintain altitude without putting that power back in.
And what did you want me aiming for speed-wise?
About 60 knots.
Okay.
So we're going to keep bringing that power in, probably even up to about 2,000 RPM.
Maneuvering 2500 at Cessna.
Oh, Julie, Kilo,
95 Hotel Fox, traffic 11.
Remember, those left turning tendencies are going to be more pronounced with high pitch, low airspeed, high power, so we're going to remember that right rudder.
Saratoga, actually, I think he is, that's what he's showing.
This is about where you want me, right? 60, holding altitude.
Yeah, so typically when we're behind the power curve like this, when we're slow, we want to use the pitch to control the airspeed mainly, and then the power to control the altitude mainly.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and add some power back in there to get us back up to 3,000.
Okay.
Contact tower 49 Alpha.
Approach 95 on Fox.
95 Hotel Fox, go ahead.
We'd like to head over to Bridgeport for touch and goes 95 Hotel Fox.
Okay, proceed on course to Bridgeport.
On course.
So just keep that power coming in.
798 Lima Alpha,
quite a bit, right?
airspace.
And the more power we add, the more right rudder we're going to need.
Frequency improved.
Alright, looking good. So go ahead and give me a turn to the south.
Turn to the south. Clear left.
And no more than, we only really want about 10 degrees of bank.
Oh, okay.
Just because since we are so close to the stall speed already, when we increase the bank, we increase that stall speed, so we need to be careful with that. This sort of simulates the feeling when you're coming into landing, how the controls are more mushy.
Oops, I went past south. Yep.
So the ailerons are less effective because there's less airflow over them.
Right.
They're just nice small corrections. That rudder plays a big role when we're at a slow airspeed. Alright, we can go back to the west.
Back to the west. Right.
Just be careful with the bank.
Yep. Sorry. Now they've taken out minimum controllable airspeed from the...
Yep, so they don't want us riding the stall warning horn anymore when we're teaching it. I still like to have my students learn it because it's important to recognize it and have the feeling.
Yeah.
But I think what the FAA is trying to do is they're trying to steer away from students getting used to riding a stall horn. Basically, they want to see once the student hears it, they immediately correct for it.
Not get too comfortable with it. Okay.
Right. You don't want to get complacent or, you know, start to get in the habit of ignoring that sound. Because when we hear that sound, we'll pitch forward. But why don't you go ahead and bring me down to MCA. Bring her about 50 knots.
Okay.
We'll hear that stall warning horn.
900 for 2,000.
So pitch plus power is going to equal performance. We're going to reduce power a little bit and keep pitching up.
2,000, and we're just requesting the ILS 6 back at Iceland.
I have that traffic in sight.
9 Alpha Tango, turn left at 250.
250, 9 up Tango.
All right, rudder here.
Right.
Oh, I'm trying to grab 50.
Alright, you can even bring it back a little more to about 45.
Approach 71 Hotel Foxtrot.
Go ahead.
We're going to do a hold or two over the localized runway 6 at 2,000 at Brookhaven, if that's okay, sir.
That's fine.
Alright, very nice. If you take a look outside, we're barely putting along here.
Oh, yeah.
0 Alpha traffic, north U maneuvering altitude indicates 2,000.
Traffic in sight, 0 Alpha. Alright, let's go ahead and recover. So we're just going to add full power and reduce 1 notch of flaps initially.
1 notch. Accelerate.
Let's maintain that 3,000 feet so you can keep that nose up a little bit more. So we're at about 80 knots, we can keep reducing the flaps.
I took 2 off initially by accident.
Yep, that's okay. Typically you just want to do 1. But as long as we can get the airspeed up and we can maintain control, we're all good. Alright, so let's start heading back towards Farmingdale so we can take a left here.
Alright, left. Power back.
Your approach Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha would like to punch out.
Juliet Alpha spot VFRs, yeah.
VFR, see you in a bit. 130 Juliet Alpha. Alright, we'll start descending down to about 2,500 feet.
Okay, power back.
Alright, I want you to try and go ahead and get the ATIS up and running for us so we can hear that.
So we want to switch on
26.65, so we need to switch to COM 2 and we need to switch the frequency on COM 2.
Right here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So that'll switch it, then we need to get from the top box to the bottom box. So we'll do that up there.
Okay, so that's COM 2.
Whiskey.
There you go.
The public airport information, Whiskey 1453 Zulu, wind 330 at 8, visibility 10, ceiling 7,000, overcast, temperature 5, dew point -6, altimeter 3001, visual approach and use, landing and departing runway 32, all runway field conditions, 6-foot snowbanks, all taxi
Alright,
field
so
conditions,
go ahead and put the wind in there for me. So 330.
Tower lights out of service in the vicinity.
And the altimeter setting is 3001.
Read back all runway old short instructions, runway assignments, altitude assignments. Advise Republic Tower on initial contact. You have information, Whiskey.
And we have Whiskey. Alright, so then we'll switch over to Tower now. So 118.8. That's it.
Alright.
Alright, so Farmingdale is just that big white patch out there. You see it?
Yep. And we're landing 3-2 probably, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so. And it's going to be, right traffic probably?
Yep, they're probably going to put us in the right downwind for 3-2.
And 3 Golf Alpha, negative.
Want me to still descend or?
Yeah, we'll continue down to 2,000 now.
Traffic you're following is over the inner shoreline, 1,200 feet.
So, if you want to make the radio call, you can. You can say Republic Tower, 130 Juliet Alpha, 4 miles south of the stacks, inbound with Whiskey.
What's south of the stacks?
4 miles.
4 miles south of the stacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Stay 42, Roger. Join the midfield, right downwind for runway 32. Midfield, right downwind for runway 32. I'm going to stay 42.
Republic Tower, Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha, 4 miles south of the North Fork stacks, requesting touch and goes.
Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha, Republic Tower, right downwind, runway 320. You're at 3,020 feet, set.
We're at 2,200 right downwind, 32, 130 Juliet Alpha.
Cessna 130 Juliet Alpha, Roger, right downwind, runway 32, thank you.
Right downwind, runway 320 Juliet Alpha.
Alright, very good. Because he thought we were the guy behind us.
Okay.
So just giving him the altitude, because we have someone behind us at 700 above us.
Runway 32, clear touch, I got low traffic. Clear touch, I got left side, return,
So we want to get to 1,100 feet, right?
Yep, so 1,100 feet before we enter the pattern.
Okay.
Affirmative, I'm 60, sir. You can make a right 360 to fall behind him. I see you're 1,000 feet above him.
So we're kind of set up on we're kind of in that general positioning for this, right? Yeah.
We're already pretty much going to enter on the 45 for 3-2, so that's alright.
Okay.
Basically, we aim for the National Cemetery, and from there, we'll fly outbound parallel to the runway, we'll make 2 rights, and we'll be lined up for final.
Okay.
Good, 3 Golf Alpha, traffic and precision prior to arrival. 3 Golf Alpha.
Let's see if we can get 2 landings in.
1-3 Fox left down, 132. 1-3 Fox, extend down, not clear base.
And we'll get a little bit more flying in on the next lesson, since we're not going to do as much, you know, sitting down, and pre-flight will be a little quicker and all that.
This is the countdown from the engine start? Does that mean the countdown? That's how long the engines have been running?
I'm not actually entirely sure about that. I don't believe so.
Tango.
But it may be.
Alpha 6 and you still looking to the more touching us?
Let's go 0 Alpha.
Alright, Roger.
Gotta get used to listening.
Republic Tower ready to go at the full length.
Affirmative 210.
Alright, so there's 1,100 feet. Almost.
Also 3210, right down into southeast.
It's pre-landing checklist here.
I'm sorry?
Pre-landing checklist.
That's correct.
Fuel both, mixture rich. Seatbelts, landing light.
Send that one, I'll call you base.
Send that one, you'll call the base.
Beautiful.
42.
And 1 Fox Tango, one more touch and go.
Yep, we can also just verify on the other side here, we have it.
Roger, hold short of runway 32 at Alpha 6.
Short, Alpha 6.
You got it.
Okay.
Fox Tango.
Cougar 3 Golf Alpha traffic and precision prior to arrival.
3 Golf Alpha.
Back to 1100.
We only have a 10-degree crosswind, so the winds are pretty much right down the runway, which is nice.
Base over the inner shoreline, spacing for departures.
Base over the inner shoreline, coming up say 42.
Nice and calm too, about 8 knots.
Republic Tower, Farmingdale, state 66 is on the left, down 143. We'd like to request a full stop.
And then out there, that's the capturing monument.
That one, I'll clear base, copy the full stop.
Common checkpoint, right? The 32's right here, right?
32, line up and wait, traffic.
Yep, so there's the National Cemetery. So we'll get a little bit closer and then we'll start turning out.
Runway 32, clear for takeoff, right there with the proof.
Clear for takeoff, 210.
Cruise 3 Golf Alpha with departure now, taking the runway 32, clear to land.
Yeah, departing traffic inside, saying clear to land 32, 3 Golf Alpha.
210, no delay on your road.
Alright, so we can pretty much make that turn right over the landfill here.
3 Foxtrot, you're following
And we'll fly outbound.
7 on the opposite downwind of BMU, 1,100 feet. It's going to be turning base over the inner shoreline. Advise when you have that traffic in sight.
We've got some insight right now, 13 Fox.
Cherokee 13 Fox, no Roger. Follow the Seminole, thank you.
Okay, behind the Seminole, 13 Fox.
So we are just about
Cessna
to be...
130, good up on the downwind.
Cessna 0 Jet Alpha, extend that one, I'll call you base.
Extend downwind, you call the base, 0 Jet Alpha. Do it.
Like you were saying?
Yeah. So it doesn't hurt. I prefer putting in the 10 degrees of flaps now.
Midfield,
Okay.
right that one.
And 10 can go in anytime below what?
And so down here it'll tell you anytime below 110 knots.
Okay, so we're on the edge of that, so we want to slow down a little bit.
Hotel on Roger, hold short of runway 32, working on your
We don't want to
release.
descend yet.
Hold short, up in 1.
And we can pretty much maintain 1,100, 1,000 feet since we don't know how far he's going to extend us out.
Okay.
Cougar 3 Golf Alpha, turn left Alpha 4, ground point 6.
Left Alpha 4, ground point 6, 3 Golf Alpha.
Ultimate 701, runway 32, line up and wait.
I get used to like visualizing what traffic's where. A lot of stuff for me today. It's just
I mean, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Just give us a little bit more to the right so that we stay parallel to the runway rather than flying away.
Traffic approaching your right wing, entering the right down 1,500, 300 feet. Just keep it climbing for the right downwind.
Inside 210.
Thank you. Ultimate 701, runway 32, clear for takeoff, wind 340 at 9er.
Clear for takeoff, Ultimate 701.
State 66 following the traffic that's approaching your left wing on a base tower 1,200 feet.
There's some traffic out there.
Farmingdale, state 66, we have company traffic inside.
At our altitude.
Right.
Oh, yeah. On final?
Yeah, he's on final.
Okay.
Just continue straight ahead because he said he'll call the base.
Yep.
And there's another guy out there. That's probably who we're going to follow. We'll see. He just turned final.
Foxtrot Tango, caution wake turbulence spotted, Dornier jet, runway 32 Alpha 6 intersection, clear for takeoff, make left traffic, wind 330 at 9.
I'd like to wait a couple minutes before we take off.
Foxtrot Tango, cancel takeoff, clearance, hold short of runway 32 at Alpha 6.
Holding short, 32 at Alpha 6, 417 Fox Tango.
State 42, runway 32, clear to land, caution wake turbulence departed, Dornier jet.
Looks like there's more traffic out there in the base now. So that's probably what we're going to follow.
If you're following traffic, that's not the one off your right wing, the one behind him on a base turn mid-bay, 1,200 feet, advise inside of Cherokee.
Cherokee in sight, 0 Alpha.
Ultimate 001, contact departure.
Departure, Ultimate 71, good day.
210, previous stage approved.
Alright, so we're going to follow that traffic, the Cherokee there.
That's Jet Alpha, you said you have the traffic in sight?
Affirm, we'll follow.
That's Jet Alpha, roger, follow him, thank you. Farmingdale Station 0, you still have have the Cessna at your 12 o'clock 2 miles.
Is the general rule once he's beyond us?
Yeah, pretty much when he's past our wing, then we'll go ahead and make that turn.
Okay. Try to keep it with 30, under 30 on the bank?
You always want to keep it under 30. And I mean, we are about 5 miles away now.
Wow.
So we're going to keep that altitude until we get closer.
Okay.
Echo 144 Juliet Kilo, Republic Tower.
And that's another reason I like to add the flaps that pretty much beam the numbers, because that way we slow ourselves down and we won't get as far.
To report the initial line.
But we're technically not even in Farmingdale airspace anymore.
Wow. And we can almost start a final here, right?
Yep. And we just want to track that center line all the way in.
We were like almost mid-bay, as they call it, right?
That's right.
13 Foxtrot, traffic and position prior to arrival.
So the inner shoreline here is about 4 miles away from the airport.
Okay.
So that's where the airspace extends to. 4 miles south of Farmingdale and 5 miles north of Farmingdale. Up to 2,600 feet.
You're very wide on the downwind now. Turn left 30 degrees, please.
30 degrees, 277.
Farmingdale State 42, turn left Alpha 5, you have it. If not, no delay Alpha 4, ground point 6.
Alpha 4, ground point 6, Farmingdale State 42.
Check 13 Foxtrot, runway 32, clear to land.
Clear to land 13 Fox 32.
Republic Tower, Cessna 16237 is over Northport with Whiskey. We'd like a one touch and go and a full stop.
We have a slight right crossover, maybe?
Yeah. That's correct.
Farmingdale State 66, runway 32, clear land.
So we'll just keep the nose pointed a little bit to the right.
Golf 3551 Tango Golf, Republic Tower, hold short of runway 1.
Hold short of 1, 551 Tango Golf.
Republic Tower, Cessna 16237 is over Northport with Whiskey. I'd like one touch and go and a full stop.
Corvette State 66, cancel your landing clearance and break off to the right, you're on the right now for jet departure.
Turning the right downwind, State 6.
Alright, do you see the traffic ahead of us?
Yeah, I do.
Pretty much right below the threshold of the runway.
He's getting into the white area now.
Line up white, runway 1.
Go ahead and add another notch of
You
flaps.
want to go around?
No, we don't have to go around.
No, I think you just did mine.
He is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Over the inner shoreline of
So,
So we'll reduce the power a little bit and start to slowly descend. So below 85 knots, and then you can add that second notch of flaps.
Runway 32.
Hold short 32, 84.
Jet Alpha, traffic, Gulfstream departing runway 1 prior to arrival.
Roger, Jet Alpha.
Check 13 Fox, say parking.
13 Fox vacating Delta 1 to shelter.
Roger, ground point 6, pull past the shoreline 3 Fox.
So just pitch up a little bit more so we can get ourselves slowed down
Runway 1 clear for takeoff.
and add that second notch of flaps.
Come up on runway 32.
Okay, clear for takeoff, runway 1, 551 Tango Golf.
Alright, below 85, second notch of flaps.
Public Tower, Cessna 16237 south of the stacks, inbound Whiskey.
Trimming on finals normal, right? I mean, it's good.
Confirm, sir, I'm in my base.
Okay, there's traffic over the outer shoreline on final Seneca, you're following.
Just be mindful when you're going around that you might have some, if you have nose up trim in there, you know, make sure to hold the yoke a little bit forward so that we don't approach a stall.
Tower State 66 has joined the right down.
You can add that last notch of flaps.
Extend that one on clear base.
You got the base, State 66.
Reporting Gulfstream inside 0 Alpha.
So Jet Alpha, runway 32, clear to land, wind 330 at 9er.
0 Alpha requesting touch and go.
Cessna Jet Alpha, clear touch and go, left traffic.
Clear touch and go, left traffic, Cessna 130 Jet Alpha.
Farmingdale State 66 traffic.
Alright, so we're going to keep that about 70 knots. This is looking good. Need to turn a little bit to the right so we can keep it on center line.
Number 2 is Company Cherokee.
Follow Company Cherokee to the field. Number 2, Farmingdale State 66. Tower 077, I have traffic on my right.
Looking really good.
1 Tango Golf, contact departure.
Thank you, bye.
077 has traffic on my right wing.
Very
Nice checks I should be doing, just flaps.
All good.
Good.
We did the pre-landing checklist.
7, you turned inside of the traffic now. That was the traffic you were supposed to follow. Seneca 4, Juliet Kilo, traffic at your 12 o'clock, less than a mile, 1,500 feet. You have them in sight?
We have them in sight, sir. Juliet Kilo, we can maintain visual and separation.
4 Juliet Kilo, just make a right 360, fall behind them. We need to get them in.
Okay, right 360 for JK.
Public Tower, Cessna 16237 2 north of Deer.
Hold that back pressure, hold it. More back pressure.
16237,
There you go.
Republic Tower.
Alright, so flaps up.
Right down with runway
Full power.
Right
And
down
right rudder.
32. We'd like a one touch and go and a full stop if possible.
All the way to full.
Yep.
237, say again.
We'd like a one touch and go and then
Yeah,
a
I
full
forget how
stop
close
if
you get to
possible.
rotation after that. It's like,
Very nice.
comes quick.
First landing in 17 years, that was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I felt like that would come for some reason. I don't know.
Stay 60, runway 32.
Got a good day for it too.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So stay, Farmingdale, stay 60.
Stay 66, just continue traffic position prior to arrival service.
Continuing, Farmingdale State 66 traffic prior.
Alright, then at 700 feet, we'll go ahead and start that left turn. Public Tower is going to be a full stop for 130 True.
Right turn?
Left.
Left turn.
Stay 66, traffic position prior to arrival.
Coming up on 700. Turning.
Copy, Farmingdale State 66.
Jet 884, runway 32, line up Hawaii traffic, 1.5 mile final, be ready.
Jet 884, line up Hawaii 32.
And Farmingdale State 66, make one, that's turn to the right for spacing. That's turn to the right, Farmingdale State 66. Farmingdale State 60, turn left off of 4 ground point 6. 4 ground point 6, that one, that's almost 60. Cherokee 5 southside traffic, if I was making one, that's turn to the right.
I see traffic is supposed to go back to
Jet 884, runway 32, clear for takeoff.
Start my downwind?
Yep, start that turn.
Continue, Jet 884.
State 66, caution wing turbulence with the Super King Air, runway 32, clear to land.
Caution wing turbulence, clear to land, Farmingdale State 66.
Cherokee 5 southside, number 2, runway 32.
I like to keep it at about a mile or a little less, just so that if we were to lose engine power, we can glide to the field.
Kilo. Republic Tower, Katana.
Right at 1100 feet.
Romeo, runway 32 Alpha, ready for departure.
Very well done.
110 Romeo, Power Tower, hold short of runway 32. Holding short, runway 32, 10 Romeo.
Good.
Yeah, it's looking great. And they're going to have us extend it downwind.
Extend downwind on clay base.
Extend it downwind, you go to base, that's a 130 downwind.
Wind 320
That's one of the main reasons I like the iPad is it has all the traffic on it, so we have 1, 2, 3 guys on final.
Oh, wow.
That's because I have a Stratus ADS-B in my backpack.
Okay.
That's why I'm able to see the traffic.
And some people put them, but it works even in the bag.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's better if you just mount it on the window, but I mean, I just keep it in the bag because I go from plane to plane to plane every day. So.
Right. So we're past the beam, so we could put it on.
And below 110, first notch of flats.
Romeo State 66, turn left off of 5 ground point 6.
Turn left off of 5 ground point 6.
That was a very nice approach before. Great landing. We did rotate a little bit too high, and that's why it kind of took us a second to get down, but that's completely fine. It was a very beautiful, safe landing. A little bit off center line.
So I noticed when I'm going to 20, it's like kind of there's no
Nope, so there's no notch there.
Yeah,
you
so
just kind of have to feel it out.
All right.
If there is a little bit, I believe in the beginning there are, but they kind of just disintegrate over time.
Oh, okay.
07 Foxtrot Tango, runway 32 off of 6 intersection, line up away traffic, 3 mile final.
I've never flown a Cessna that had like a real indent there. Kind of feel that there might have been one, but I've never had one.
Cherokee 577, can turn left off of 5 ground point 6, full past the whole short line, please.
You do your primary in Cessna or low wing?
Yeah, I did all my primary in 6-pack Cessna in Ohio.
07 Tango, runway 32, clear for takeoff, make left traffic.
Went to Ohio State.
Oh, nice. They have a nice aviation program, right?
Yeah, it was a great time.
Seneca 4 Juliet Kilo, runway 32, clear to landing. Clear to land for Juliet Kilo, we're headed to Atlantic. Roger.
I know Farmingdale Tower's pretty busy, so sometimes I like to give them a little reminder that we're approaching the outer shore.
2 mile final.
Oh, okay.
Clear for takeoff, 10 Romeo. Seneca 4 Juliet Kilo, one more departure, Katana, full length.
That's the outer shoreline.
I'm sorry, inner shore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're approaching the inner shore.
Capture at 1500, requesting a land at runway 32. We also have the weather entry.
Cessna 0 Jet Alpha, turn base.
Turning base 0 Jet Alpha.
The 237, I'll call your base.
237, roger.
Aircraft home tower, say again.
Public Cap, LC 63, by Captree at 1500 with whiskey, requesting land runway 32.
663 Republic Tower, straight in, runway 32, report the inner shoreline.
Report inner shoreline, straight in for runway 32, it's on 663.
Our distance kind of closed in a little, so I'm almost having to just do like a loop.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
Whatever it takes to get us on final.
So we're just like almost 4 miles, a little less than 4 miles from the field. Here.
Just about.
Cessna 237, traffic over the inner shoreline on final 1,000 feet. You can start your base turn, you're very wide, you fall behind them.
Cessna 237, roger that. Traffic in sight, we'll follow them.
0299 Alpha Tango, report tower, right then.
And 417 Fox Tango on the left downwind was for runway 32. Would like to make it a full stop.
07 Fox Tango, roger, extend that one, I'll call you base.
So since you fly in this area most of your time, have you done like an analysis of like emergency areas that what you can put the plane down? Does that make sense, right? To do that where you fly most?
Yep. Always have
600 feet.
always have something in mind. I mean, there's 2 fields there, there's a field there, and there's a field in front of us.
Negative.
So
because we would
an area there's still stuff.
right.
Still places.
And the thing is, a road might look very tempting, but you have to be very mindful of power lines. Because a power line will slice the wind right off. That's where all the fuel is. So it's really just put her down on a field if you can. There's not always the most ideal places.
And fly it to the ground all the way down. Right?
Yeah, until you're out of the plane, you're going to be flying it.
Cessna 0 Jet Alpha, runway 32, clear touch and go, left traffic.
Full stop for 130 Jet Alpha.
0 Jet Alpha, clear to land.
Clear to land, thank you, sir. 130 Jet Alpha.
237, number 2, runway 32, clear to land.
I'd like one touch and go and a full stop, Cessna 237.
237, clear touch and go, left
Alright,
traffic.
so let me try to get to a stabilized speed, I guess 20 degrees from here.
663, following traffic.
So there's kind of a little bit of an indent you feel there. A little bit. But not precise.
663, you're
But there's no need for precise either. I mean, it's... Because the next notch is going to come in anyway.
Right. 200 feet of the traffic you're following, assess.
Looking for the traffic on runway 63.
Yeah, I mean, the practice areas, especially the south, has good landing areas. They have parking lots, roads that aren't, you know, littered with power lines, and if necessary, the beach.
Man, the 1484 Juliet Republic Tower.
That's another reason why in the pattern I like to stay closer to the airport, if we can, or keep that altitude until we're within gliding distance of the airport.
Right. You're making power changes too, right? So, I mean, theory, you might be more, I don't know, there's 2 theories on that. Power changes can cause the problem.
Precision prior to arrival, A. Baron.
A little higher than before, but I'm adjusting.
Oh, this is looking great.
Cirrus 9 Fox Attack, you're following another Cirrus that's approaching your left wing on final 1,400 feet, advise in sight.
Looking for traffic, 417 Fox Tango.
Bolton
So just
70.
keep us a little bit more to the right.
Yep.
Pretty much want your body right on that center line.
Wind 310 at 9.
Traffic in sight, 417 Fox Tango.
7 Fox Tango, follow the Cirrus, continue number 4.
Number 4.
A little bit of right rudder. There you go. Alright, very nice.
First one was better, but alright.
That's 0 Jet Alpha, say parking.
That's a flyer, sir, Alpha.
0 Jet Alpha, roger, turn
Should I
right,
get off
Delta
here?
1, ground point 6.
Delta 1, ground point 6, 0 Alpha. Thank you for your help.
I have a bad habit of like not using the brakes that much when I land, because take it easy on them.
Yeah, just take it easy on them. And if you ever find yourself like you have to like try and slam on the brakes, don't even bother. Just keep going to the next one.
Tango, traffic prior to arrival.
Him telling us to turn right on Delta 1 isn't required. If we don't feel that it's safe, we'll go to the next one. Alright, very
fully
good.
Clear of that hold short line?
That's correct. So we're fully clear of the active runway. Switch to ground. Right there. And just check the checklist after landing.
Elevator trim.
Public ground, Cessna 130, Juliet Alpha is clear of the active back to Nassau Flyers, please.
Cessna 130, Juliet Alpha, Republic ground, taxi to Nassau Flyers via Delta Golf.
Nassau Flyers via Delta Golf, 130, Juliet Alpha.
What do we do with transponder? We go to Y or?
So it automatically goes to ground and knows we're on the ground.
Oh, okay. Have this stack when I flew. At least maybe I did.
I didn't fly with GPS until after I had my license. Did it all bare bones, old school way. No iPads or anything either.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal way to learn. But these days everyone wants to use their iPad for everything, and you know, I don't blame them.
No, I get it. It's a great tool.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty easy to get lost in Ohio with all the farms and everything, you know? There's no real landmarks. Just kind of try and follow the correct railroads.
I never really thought of that, but yeah, like this busy area does have tremendous...
Here in New York is great. I mean, if you see the city, you know that's west. You know, if you see the stacks, you know that's the North Shore.
Okay, 3-2 via Golf, hold short.
My long cross-country solo was to Albany, from North Jersey to Albany.
Men of the instructions, turn right on runway 1 to Golf 7.
Right on runway 1, Golf 7, 130 Alpha. Alright, so we're just going to continue to runway 1 and we'll taxi all the way to the end, right on Golf 7. Yeah, say again?
Oh no, I was just telling you my long, I don't know if you have to do them this long anymore as a requirement. I had to go over 100 miles per leg for like a triangle.
That's
so to Albany.
Okay.
188, I might have missed it.
Turn right here?
We're going to continue all the way to runway 1.
Oh.
So you'll see, we'll pass a hold short line. That's just because other people are going to be coming out.
Yeah, so that was a long, over 300 nautical mile.
Yeah, so that's required for commercial now,
okay.
250.
And I flew to Groton, Connecticut from Albany, and then back to Caldwell.
I love Groton, it's a great little airport. They have a great FBO there called Mystic Jet Center.
Oh, okay.
And if you go there, you know, it's like 10 gallons or a top off, and then they'll let you use the crew car for like 2-3 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go into town, get a bite to eat. It's a good spot, yeah, it's really nice.
So he gave us permission to go onto the runway?
Correct, we are cleared onto runway 1.
Where it's going to be good to watch the videos because I can see why I missed calls and stuff.
Continue taxi via Delta, Columbia Jet 1.
It'll come back.
Oh yeah.
It'll come back quick.
I'm pretty happy because
I'm impressed at how well it went today.
Oh, thank you.
Very well done.
When we were pre-flighting, I had like the butterflies. I was like, you know, this is so, and this is how it's going to be. Maybe I'm not going to, and then just doing.
Good. Republic ground, Farmingdale 663, off of runway 32 on Alpha 5, requesting a taxi to Echo Ramp.
State 63, Republic ground, taxi to Echo via Alpha, cross runway 1.
Alpha, cross runway 1, Farmingdale 663.
Guard. They stay here a lot, the Coast Guard?
Every now and again. I've seen them come a lot for when there's military funerals, because there's a lot of the military graveyards around here.
That's right.
For military funerals, they'll typically do like a flyby or something like that and pay respects.
You had to go to Golf over there, to Golf 7.
So to the end is where Golf 7 is on the right. And as you can see, you can't see the signs because of the snow. So if you're ever in that situation and you're up there here solo, and you're not familiar, you just say, hey, Republic ground, requesting progressive taxi. Can't see the signs. Okay. And then they'll give you step by step.
Republic ground, 0299 Alpha Tango, clear of the active Delta 1, taxi back Nassau Flyers. 0299 Alpha Tango, Republic ground, after the Gulf Stream from your left to right, taxi to Nassau Flyers via Delta Golf.
After the Gulf Stream.
So there it is, Golf 7.
Delta Golf to Nassau Flyers, 299 Alpha Tango, thank you.
it's acceptable to taxi a little faster when you're on the runway itself?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to just keep your speed down, just to maintain controllability, because you'll notice if the winds are high or if you have a quartering tailwind or something like that, you can get out of control pretty quick. I'll take the controls here.
Okay, you got it.
Park controls over here where we were before. Pretty much the rule of thumb is like a brisk walk or a light jog for taxiing. Alright, so you can go ahead and do the shutdown checklist right there.
Throttle 1000. There's master avionics off. The radio master.
So it's the radio avionics master, that's it.
All right, here, right?
Yep.
Master off. Wow. And make sure you do the magnetos as well.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Because if you leave those keys in there and you try and move the prop, the engine can start on its own. And you don't want to be in front of a plane when the engine starts.
No, that's not the place to be. I remember even the old seatbelts had like another spot. You'd have to like do two pieces on the seatbelt.
Yeah, yeah. I know, that's what I'm used to.
So you get like ground assistance?
Yeah, line service, which is nice.
Alright, so I got the keys here.
Yeah, very, very well done today. I'm impressed.
It was fun. I have no idea what time it is. Oh wow, it's just almost
1.3 today. Alright, so I have another flight I gotta go on.
Yes.
But try and get everything packed up out here, head inside, do the logbook.
You doing your city tour next, or is that late? Yeah.
That's good. I'm probably already here. But I wanted to, you know, get 2 landings in.
Great.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very well done. Here's the keys.
Yeah, I'm just finished up with my first flight lesson back after almost 17 years, and I gotta say it was quite a time. Sebastian, my flight instructor, says I did a really good job, so I can't wait to take the video apart and see how I think I did based on the review. I will say that during pre-flight and getting the cameras ready, definitely had butterflies, and I was starting to say to myself, I was just nervous, and I was wondering if I was going to really be able to do this. I mean, I knew I was going to go for the flight today, but I didn't know if I was going to want to continue on just based on how I was feeling. And so what I was hoping for was once I got in the air, it would be, sorry, got cut off there, somebody was coming by. So what I really wanted to say for this, before I lose this thought, is that when I was pre-flighting the plane, I also had to deal with getting those cameras ready. And, you know, I played around with the cameras ahead of time, but I did not try to physically mount them in the plane. And I was stumbling, and I had a lot on my mind, just think, you know, knowing I was going to be flying for the first time. And it did definitely add to, like, my nervousness, I think, because I had to deal with that also. And you know, so for what I want is, my goal is to get the cameras to a point where I'm not thinking about setting them up. That happens quickly, and it's not impeding on my flight training. Because, you know, flying a plane has got its own challenges, and adding that to it does not help. So what I really want to say is that after getting up in the air, that first takeoff, climbing out, heading over toward the North Shore, Long Island, the butterflies really settled and started to feel good again. and by the time I came in, I think I had a nice first. I did two landings. One was a touch and go, and the other two a full stop, and a lot of fun. And yeah, so the butterfly shook out, and that's what I want to encourage anybody who hasn't been up in a while. If you have that feeling, a lot of times doing is the best medicine. Peace out.